This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we've got the 40th anniversary from Ninja Turtles, the 1988 remastered Michelangelo figure. I was really excited when I found this at Walmart, which is amazing because lately I haven't been very excited about Walmart toy shopping at all. But this figure is supposed to be an updated version of the original toys released in, well, obviously 1988, but with textured skin and enhanced articulation. On the side, we see it's, mentioning the classic 1988 styling with 13 points of articulation, additional weapons, and a customizable base. On the other side, we see that you can combine the bases together to create a scene. And on the back, we just get to see all the different Ninja Turtles. Just gonna say I am kind of irritated that they don't give us any full body artwork for the Ninja Turtles here. And honestly, that has a lot to do with the way I design my thumbnails. But, that's my pet peeve. It's 1988 again, only better. Collect all your favorite classic-styled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, now remastered with super articulation and detailed decos. I'm not sure I would go with super articulated. It's more like almost the current industry standard. But anyway, let's open the sucker up. Cowabunga. Can I just say the background on that box is really boring? Okay, first up, let's just take a quick look at the base, just for the heck of it. So as it mentioned, it's customizable, so I'm guessing that this part is going to be the same on all the turtles. But I guess we'll find out together. If we look at the bottom here, we've got tabs and slots on each side, so you can connect the other ones either side by side or front and back, or even back and front, I guess. However you want to do it. So I guess it would be kind of cool if you do like two here, two on this side with the wall on both sides, and then have it on a little spinning thing. Customizable parts are, of course, this, I think this is like a heating duct thing, or, because this looks like what you sometimes see on the top of houses where, so that the heat from like the attic or whatever can go through and then this come out that way. Ooh. And then the stupidest looking radar thingy ever. Antenna. Put that there. However, as near as I can tell, there is nowhere to actually attach this thing. But as far as the radar dish goes, we've got a hole here and we got holes here. But they don't have attachment points for this. So that means in your display, that is likely to fall off. I mean, even this little bump here where it looks like it might be able to attach to, I mean, it'll sit on that, but it doesn't stay in place. There also are not any foot peg holes on this either, so unless, well, wait a minute. Okay, nope, that doesn't back up as a foot peg. So, let's give it a 50-50 on the base here. They probably should have had a bunch of little holes and, like, they should have had a bunch of holes like this there, and this should have had a peg in it as well. But let's set that aside for the moment. Let's start off with our actual figure of Michelangelo. And I'm doing Michelangelo because I think the last two turtles that I've done have been Michelangelo, so why break the streak now? On the head, we do have like a ball joint. We can get a little bit on the up and a little bit down, spin it all around. We can still look kind of sideways down and sideways up. I would say we're not getting quite as much movement as we usually do with a ball jointed head because the head and, well, there's not really a neck, to be perfectly honest. It mostly just sits almost directly onto the shoulders. So I think that is limiting our articulation a bit. However, we do have a pegged in hinge here that allows us to move the arm up and down, which is not something the original Turtles could do. We can spin it around. So far, we've got our standard Origins Masters of the Universe articulation going on here. We have a wrist or an elbow swivel and a hinge. This does not give us a full 90 degrees. We get a good straight going on here, but once we bend it, we don't hit that 90-degree mark at all. So that's kind of a disappointment. There is no waist articulation at all, which makes sense because of the turtle shell. Still a little bit disappointing, but you know. We have a hinge here at the leg so we can kick up, kick back. So we got about the standard range as a Motu figure. And does not appear as if... So we can't do a side kick like we do with a lot of figures. But if we turn the leg and turn the leg and hinge it outward, we can kind of almost do it. And by spinning the knee, we can make it look like we're doing the standard side kick that we do with Origins. We have a swivel at the knee and a hinge again. Once more, we are not hitting a full 90 degree on that one. Although it does hinge forward a little bit more than we usually get. You see there's a lot of open space at that knee pad. So that does give us that ability to move forward a bit more. We also do have an ankle spin, but we do not have a pivot, really. Or at all. I mean, I can kind of shake it a bit, but that's just because it's a loose joint. So that's actually kind of disappointing overall. For a quick comparison, though, I do have my original Michelangelo from the 80s. I'm going to note here that when I dug out my original 4 Ninja Turtles for these comparisons, which I'll probably do one a week, I lost the belts on every single turtle. I have their weapons, but I don't have their belts. So in this case, I had taken some electrical tape and created a new belt for him. It does appear like the bodies are roughly the same size, and the turtle shell on the new one is far more detailed, obviously, as is the skin. They did not, however, really match the skin tone, which is a little bit of a shame, too. I think it would have looked really cool if they had. Actually, the turtle shell's not the same color either. The shame color. But again, he does have the more thorough articulation, so that's a bonus. They still went with the same basic design for the head sculpt, and actually the head is bigger on the new one than on the original one. Oddly enough, the bicep on the old one is bigger than the bicep on the new one. So let's set them aside for a moment. Let's start with this thing. This is the only new accessory in the pack. I do not know the name of this weapon. I do know I have seen similar weapons to it, although I don't think I've ever seen one that had two blades on it. I think it's usually a handle and a blade. Ow! Shit. Unfortunately, the plastic here is stiff and, not very relenting. So I think it would have been nice if they'd used an actual cord there or maybe a more flexible plastic. But you can have Mikey holding that. We've got two different types of daggers. And if you look at this one, I don't know if you can see it there, but the paint is already screwed up on the handle here. However, this is actually straight taken from the original 90s or 80s, where the Turtles came with this version, the brown one, and they do appear to be using the exact same sculpt. Oh, shoot. You know what? I forgot the wrist swivel on this one when I did articulation. I apologize. But you can have him hold the dagger like that. I kind of feel that that is another bit of nonsense weaponry. We also have this dagger. I don't know what the actual name of it is. I think they referred to it as a push dagger at one point. But again, same as the original version. Looks like it is the same sculpt. They're using the same mold as they did previously. And that too, we can fit in his hand nicely. We have throwing stars. Again, looks like the exact same sculpt. Although, now that I think about it, they probably just remolded it from the original toy because all of the accessories for the Ninja Turtles were all on this stand, as they called it, and you had to pull them off of it. And of course, you would actually put the star in between his fingers to make it look like he's getting ready to throw. Then, just for the heck of it, so this was the extra weapon we got here. In the original series, this was the extra weapon that we got with the Turtles. And every turtle came with this thing. And I don't know any kid that actually used this when they played. So, and last but not least, we have the nunchucks. Thankfully, they went with an actual metal chain. Even a plastic chain would have been fine. The main thing is they used a chain for the nunchucks. Because the original ones had that. And actually, this is even the original nunchucks from the 80s. This is the second release nunchuck. Because the original one, they tried to make it look kind of chain like by having it be almost like a series of little balls. But that also made it very, very easy to break the thing between them. And even today, I don't really want to bend these too much because I don't want it to break. And the metal nunchucks are definitely a lot better for playability. Like, you can actually feel like you're bashing somebody. And of course, we do have on the back of the shell, or the belt, we can put the nunchuck in place like that. Of course, I can't show you that with the original turtle because, like I said before, I lost the belt. Now, I mentioned in a previous review of something that you can do with these, especially with the metal ones. So, I think y'all may recognize what this is. It is a twist tie. It often comes with some kind of bread product. We will need to remove the paperish coating from it, which can, of course, be the pain in the butt part. Like so. We got our wire, we got our nunchucks. We can start threading this through the different links in the chain on the nunchucks. And I would recommend trying to get through all of them. And in this case, I'm going to try to get it through the plastic part here, where I will kind of wrap the end around a little bit there. And we'll do the same over here. I would definitely say you can cut that off. Now, what we have done is we have made this stiff, right? So now, with that there, you can position the nunchuck for your display. Now, obviously, you want to cut that off at the end of there, but I don't have a pair of scissors on me right now, so trying to cut that with an X-Acto knife is not going to be pleasant. There you go. We got our Michelangelo. We've got our now opposable nunchucks, thanks to that little bit of bread wire. And overall, as far as the update goes, I think they did an excellent job. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't give us more articulated ankles because it still limits the posing that we can do. Because you can't move the positioning of the foot there. Would have been great if they'd given us articulated toes and a rocker on the ankle, but I guess we don't get that much. But also, it does appear as if the belt is firmly attached to the turtle. I don't see the little hole in there that you normally would have in the previous ones to undo the belt, because there used to be a peg that would go through the middle there. So it would appear that the belt is fused, and if you look here, it is pinned into place on the front. Oh, we're doing this. Ah! All right, I stand corrected. You can remove the belt. And in doing so, you show off his belly button. So actually, they kind of reversed the pin on this one, if you look at that. Kind of. It is glued also, just to note. So don't try to pull that off of there. Ah, there we go. So I think this will, oh. I think this will conclude our look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1988 remastered Michelangelo figure. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And join us next week when we do another remastered Ninja Turtle review. Peace and love.